Whoa, talk about liking big butts. I like big butts and I cannot lie. All these other brothers can't deny. Should we say something into the camera to start the video?
You do it.
What should I say?
Hey, we're making beef.
Hey, we're making beef, not. We're making pork. Welcome to Late Night with Smoky Timbers.
Yep. And here it is.
Solid. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make an overnight pork shoulder so that you don't have to do anything and you can go to sleep and get some delectable, yummy pork shoulder the next day. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
We're going to have fun doing it too, huh?
Mhm.
Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to actually take the time to brine this a little bit. We're going to coat this with Boar's Night Out White Lightning. This is actually the spicy version. Do you like spicy food?
Yeah, but I mostly like sweet.
That is true, huh? We're going to put this on. We're going to let it brine for a couple hours, and then we're going to put our binder on and put the actual like flavor seasonings on it. And then we'll be sure to put it in the pit overnight. So, should we get into it?
Yeah.
We got this cool sticker from our friends over at, can you say it with me? Lehigh's
Lehigh's
Barbecue Pit
Pit
Stop. So first step, we need to coat this thing. This is a huge chunk of meat. We need to coat it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I'll help pat it in. We'll get it everywhere, you know? So, Hayden, do you know why we're doing this?
Because it's tasty.
True, because it is tasty. It does make it tasty. So what's going to happen, Hayden, is...
The flavoring is going to taste better.
Okay, the salt in this seasoning, this has a lot of salt in it, is going to...
Make it really salty.
Okay, it's going to penetrate the entire piece of meat. Penetrate means it's going to go into the middle of the meat. All that salt and stuff will go into the middle. And it's going to taste good, because right now, the problem with a piece of meat this big is you only get seasoning, the stuff that tastes really good, on the outside of the meat. But we want that seasoning to go all the way through the meat if we can. So we're going to let this sit in a bunch of salt, and that salt's going to go all the way through the meat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's all done. That was the whole part. We're going to let it sit for a couple hours. How heavy is it?
18 pounds.
18 pounds. Ooh, 18 pounds is a big pork shoulder. Okay, folks, this is what we're going to do. So we covered this in salt, this seasoning here. We're going to really coat it, because it's a big chunk of meat, huh? It's
Can I do
huge.
it?
Yeah, pat it in. Smack that butt. So we're going to let that seasoning sit on here for a couple hours to brine. I'm a ghost. Look at that sweaty butt. LOL, my wife was like, gross. You gotta make some butt jokes when you're smoking pork butt. Now we're gonna add our actual flavorings. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come through with our pork star, and then on the top we're gonna come through with our John Henry sugar maple rub. So we're going for like a really sweet coating. A little bit of that spice that we had introduced on that first seasoning should really have a good sweet heat. It's good opposites, you know. But first, I'm gonna experiment with a mayo binder, because mayo is pretty much just fat, and fat is numbers. YOLO. And there's like a lake of moisture on the bottom of this pan. But what I'm hoping is gonna happen is that this mayo will just render down and just act as a good fat that is just gonna add some flavor. I mean, who doesn't like bacon and eggs in the morning? That's essentially what we're doing here. Nice bacon and eggs. Numbers. It looks so good. Okay, like I said, pork star. Now, because the pork shoulder is such a big piece of meat, don't be scared about over seasoning. Like, I am willing to bet like it's impossible to over season a pork butt. Like you're good. Just dump it on, give it a good dusting. Okay, now we're gonna give it a good dusting of this sugar maple rub, because who doesn't like maple? Our friends to the north, they know what's up. Eh? All you Canadians. And again, don't be shy. Dump on that seasoning, baby. Oh, gee, that was a lot. Sprinkle that clump. Little sugar bay action. Maple bay, that's what they call me, because I'm sweet like maple. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I have my pit running at 220, but essentially you want a low temp, because we're going to let this ride all night. I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm going to let it just do its thing. We're going to throw in the pit, I'm gonna put a probe in it, and then I'm gonna go to bed. That easy, that simple. It's really hard to mess this up. Just pat it to sleep. Hush, little pork baby, don't you cry. Daddy's gonna smoke you until I can pull you with my fingers. Gosh, I hate people speeding by my house super late at night. If you speed by people's house late at night, like we're talking 10 o'clock or later, dude, you suck. Because I got kids asleep. And if they wake up, see, it woke up my kid. That kind of stuff just ticks me off. So be courteous. If you got a loud car and you're freaking running it super fast at night, late at night, in a neighborhood, like, dude, go get a life. Okay, we actually missed a step. I didn't miss a step, but I forgot to document it. I live in a drier climate, so I like to put a moisture pan in my pit. We're just going to use Dr. Pepper. The reason I'm using Dr. Pepper, not just like water or whatever, is because I'm going to use this juice to cook the pork in our second phase when we wrap. And so I'm going to let this Dr. Pepper absorb as much smoke as possible during this overnight cook. A little thing to enhance. So we're just going to dump in just enough where there's like maybe 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch worth of liquid in the bottom of the pan here. And literally all you're going to do is just drop it in the pit next to your pork rump. And yeah, that's it. We're just going to let this sucker ride all night. So I'll see you in the morning. Smoky Timbers is now a rested timbers. We let this go all night at 220 degrees, and we are at 150. But let's see how we're doing here. Oh boy, we're getting some sort of bark going. It's exciting. Looking numbers. I just have a spray bottle filled with some Dr. Pepper. I'm just gonna spray the pork just to keep it from drying out. That's really all it is. Dr. Pepper doesn't really spray very well through a spray bottle. Try to get all the sides. And since we got the fat cap down, I'm not too worried about the bottom. Because like I said, that fat cap is protecting the meat right now. I tried doing the Dr. Pepper in the spray bottle. Don't do Dr. Pepper in the spray bottle. It is not working. I usually do apple juice or like a 1-to-1 ratio of apple cider vinegar to water. But you just want to spray something just to kind of keep it from drying out, stuff like that, because this is going to sit in here for quite a bit longer. I think we'll probably have to wait another 2 or 3 hours before we get to 170. So yeah, we're just going to let it ride until we get up to 170, and then we'll go into phase number 2. See you later. Okay, it's been a few hours. My Yoder is saying we're temping out at about 160. We got a nice bark going here. It's starting to look good. It's starting to shrink up, and those muscle fibers are starting to contract, so that's really good. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to wrap it. So this pan was all of our Dr. Pepper, and as you can see, a lot of it evaporated, which is going to help keep that pork nice and moist. Okay, so we're actually going to put this in that pan with all of that smoke-infused Dr. Pepper. Do yourself a favor, put some liners on, put your gloves on, and just grab that butt. Man, that looks good. What we're going to do is we're going to cover this with some heavy-duty tin foil. It's that easy, guys. Just pull it out. Drop it in your pan full of smoke-infused liquid. I use Dr. Pepper this time. I use things like apple juice. I've seen people use grape juice. I've seen people use like cherry Dr. Pepper, root beer, Sprite. Use whatever you want. I've even seen somebody use beer on YouTube. I haven't seen it in real life, but on YouTube. Okay, and literally all we're going to do now is drop this right back on the pit. Make sure you don't spill anything. And placement on the pit isn't as important because it's wrapped. So whether you're on your left side or your right side, up or down, doesn't really matter. Don't forget to put your probe back in, because that's how we're going to track temp. Make sure you don't hit the bone. You don't want to put the tip of that probe on the bone. Make sure you're just somewhere nice in that sweet spot middle, you know what I mean? We're going to close that pit down and then deglove. And then we're going to actually bump the temp up. So I'm going to go all the way to 325. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll come get you. We're going to look to get into an internal temp of like 190 to 200. Temp is important, don't get me wrong, but what's most important when it comes to barbecue is the feel of the meat. So once you get into that 190s to 200 range, what you can start to do is take your instant read thermometer or your probe, whatever, a fork, and you start to poke it, and when there's like no resistance and it feels like you're just poking into butter, that's how you know it's pretty much done, ready to pull and rest. So that's what we're looking for. But as a guide, 190 to 200, most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, you're going to go to 200 or 200 plus. I will come get you when we're all ready to pull this. Catch you later. One of the things that I love about pulled pork is it's so forgiving when it comes to time. I had an unexpected appointment pop up and I needed to leave the house. So I actually was able to pull this off of the pit when it temped out at 200 degrees. And all you gotta do is just stick it into a cooler. I just drop it in there and then it just sits there and rests. You wanna let it rest for at least an hour. That's what I found works great. This got to rest for about 3 hours. So now we're in the nighttime. But hey, we're ready to get to pulling this thing. So let's get this uncovered. Wow, that's wild. Okay, so as you can tell, we filled up the pan with juice, with fat and Dr. Pepper. This was not full when we dropped this in, if you remember. But now it is, so I gotta shred in a different pan. So let's see if we can get this to come out without tearing into a million different pieces. I'm actually going to flip it over to fat cap up. You can leave the fat cap on if you want. I find that this fat cap is pretty fatty, so I like to actually just peel it right off like this. See how it just kind of comes right off? We'll just stick that right on the tin foil. Save it for the dog. You'll know what's the fat cap and what's meat. It's real, like it's extra slimy. So I like to pull off a majority of that fat cap. Okay, you'll know when you get a good, it's done. Look at that. That bone just came out clean. This is what we call this, an instant read thermometer. If it comes out clean, you know you done good. Save that for the dog. Okay, and now, this is all we do. Just come in and it should just shred. You don't need no claws or anything like that. Look at that. Look at that muscle. It just comes apart like it's nothing. Man. Hoo-wee. This is looking good. It's feeling good. This thing just comes apart like it's nothing. Okay, so we have a couple more steps here. What we're going to do is we're going to add some more seasoning. This is such a big chunk of meat that a lot of this pork on the inside doesn't have a whole lot of added flavor. It's just going to taste like plain old pork. That's good, but we can definitely enhance it by adding a little bit more seasoning. So step one is we got to test the pork. Man, that was great though. You can definitely taste those hints of Dr. Pepper. You can taste that hint of salt from us brining prior to smoking. Man, we might not even need that much seasoning or nothing. That looks good. Guys, this is foolproof. Cook it in Dr. Pepper, some sort of juice. It's moist. Like, it's not dry at all. You don't need sauce. You really don't even need seasoning, honestly. This is really good. We're going to add some seasoning. Okay, so we're going to deglove because we're going to add some seasoning. Keep your seasoning bottles clean, you know. Okay, so we're going to add some extra seasoning here. Just a couple passes. And we're going to just mix it up a little bit. And while you're doing this, if you feel like some big chunks with your hand, like this right here, it'll just break apart. Just work it in your fingers. And what we're going to do actually too is we're going to take a little bit of this extra juice. All this is just rendered fat and Dr. Pepper. And we're going to dump this in here. Not all of it, but just a good amount, like that. Our pork's going to act like a sponge. It's going to reabsorb all of that. And it's also going to mix with this extra pork star seasoning here. I mean, look at this. It just splits apart one-handed. It's super easy. This is the best pork you'll ever have. You can use whatever liquid you want. Pulled pork is a perfect beginner's meat to smoke on the smoker. It's very difficult to mess up. As long as you just get it to the right temperature, introduce some moisture, you're gonna come out with pulled pork that's better than any restaurant you've ever gone to. Add whatever seasoning you want. It's super, super simple, super easy. It just takes time and patience. As long as you have time to let it cook overnight and not touch it, you're good. As long as you have time to let it rest in a cooler for a solid amount of time, you're good. Comment what you want me to make next. What do you want to see made on a smoker? What is something that you want to be able to take to a party or some sort of family event or gathering that's just going to knock people's socks off? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe because I'm always pumping out awesome recipes. Cook in your own backyard, baby. Oh. Porky, porky. Ooh, it's a part of the game. I'm saving that for later, babe.